Alright guys, so that is the breadboard and cutting board. I'm not quite sure what the full proper name of this is, but basically, if you guys didn't get it already, this middle section here is what normally would be a cutting board, and then these end bits are what makes it a breadboard and cutting board. Now, the idea here is that in a normal cutting board, so just this maple section in the middle, over time it's going to warp and twist and cup, and you're not gonna have this nice, perfectly flat cutting board. But by adding the walnut pieces on the edge here, or any wood, you're going to make it so that it prevents the middle section from moving as much. It's still going to move. You're still going to get a little bit of twisting and cupping and all that nasty stuff, but it's not going to be as bad as compared to like a normal non-breadboard and cutting board. So the only things that really went wrong with this project was my attempts at the joinery. So you can see here we've got a little bit of gaps. I don't want to, if I go in too close, I'm going to block the light. But yeah, so we got a little bit of gaps here, a little bit of gaps here, some tear out on the maple on both spots on this side. So overall, it still looks pretty amazing. Unless you're really looking at the joints, being like, I want to know how that joinery works, then you're going to see those a little bit of tear out, those small gaps and that. But pretty much everywhere else, all around the dowels, I was able to, the little bit of gap that there was, I was able to fill it in with some sawdust, and it just looks good overall. Now, what you guys saw me use in the video to finish this board is this Clark's cutting board oil and wax. So all this is basically mineral oil with some other additives, like lemon and orange oil. So as an alternative, if you're on a bit of a budget, because together these two things together cost, I think, about 35 bucks Canadian, so kind of a more expensive option. This bottle cost 10 bucks from IKEA. It works just as well. I don't personally like it. It's pretty much just, it's just pure mineral oil. And it's not bad, it's not great, I just don't like it. Tried and true oils. So this stuff is completely FDA approved. I don't think there's a partially FDA approved. But all it is, this one is the varnish oil, which I'm really loving right now. It's polymerized linseed oil, and this one is pine resin. And then I've also got tried and true original wood finish, which is polymerized linseed oil and beeswax. But both of those are FDA approved, food safe finishes and the reason I like them more for cutting boards, and so on this one I use Clark's, and it's all nice and dry now. It's a nice finish, it smells great, all that. On this cutting board I used the tried and true original wood finish, which is the beeswax and the linseed oil. And so the big difference between the two, there's not really a lot, but this one definitely feels like it has a little bit of a harder, more resistant finish on it. And that's really the only difference between them. They both take about the same amount of time to dry, they both need the same amount of coats, all that stuff. But the Clark's definitely has a little bit of a nicer smell when you're putting it on. So as on a consumer end, I would definitely say go with the Clark's. And don't spend the money on buying the tried and true, because you have to buy more of it, which just makes it more expensive. But from a manufacturing standpoint, using the tried and true is much nicer. So make sure you guys do keep your eyes peeled to the channel for a little while here. I have some pretty cool videos coming out. It's a fairly big, it's by far the biggest project I've done so far. Kind of most expensive. We can safely say it's the most expensive wood project I've ever done. And so those videos will be coming out fairly soon. I broke it up into a few parts just because it's a little bit boring to just sit there and watch it. It would be a long video too. So make sure you guys, if you don't have notifications on, turn those on, subscribe if you're not already, and as always guys, I will see you in the next one.